Today's video is all about bromances, and what I tried to do is I tried to get a mix of stuff from that I read when I was younger, as well as stuff I've read recently, and just kind of get a good mix in there. So we're gonna start it off with Geralt and oh my gosh. There's no way that Geralt and Dandelion can't end up on a video about bromances. They have one of the biggest bromances, in my opinion, in fiction. A lot of other characters actually have friends throughout other books and other fandoms, but Geralt has one friend, and that's Dandelion. Dandelion is there with him through thick and thin, even when Geralt chokes him to death. Dandelion's just there, and that's honestly part of what makes Dandelion so awesome. Number 2 is Wax and Wayne from Mistborn Era 2. I've got to be honest, I've only read the first book out of this series. I feel like actually this video is turning into what series has Kevin not finished, but let's keep going. Wax and Wayne have a really cool dynamic. Wax is a city boy turned cowboy turned back to city boy, and Wayne is just kind of your cowboy. What are you doing in the city? They come from very different worlds, but at the same time, they also understand each other's worlds. So it ends up balancing out pretty well. My next bromance is from a book that I read, well, a series I read when I was younger. It's called the Pendragon series. The bromance in this series is between Bobby and Mark. And Bobby is a traveler. He basically goes everywhere throughout the universe and is never really hanging out with Mark, but they were best friends before Bobby became a traveler, and Bobby actually sends him letters, and so you're actually reading the story through Mark's eyes. And I loved this this setup, and I just ate this up as a kid. And I kind of saw, I guess, myself in Mark, that almost I was Bobby's best friend, and I was reading Bobby's journals and of his travels, and so I loved that bromance. My next two are from The Lord of the Rings, and yes, I'm holding a DVD. Confession, I haven't read them. However, I'm currently listening to the audiobook. My first one is actually Frodo and Sam. And the reason I decided to do them first is because I don't think they're a bromance. And I feel like they're often mentioned as if they're a bromance, but from my current read through the audiobooks, and maybe I'll change my mind in the third one. I'm only in Two Towers, but I feel like in the movie they feel more like a bromance, but in the books there are some definite moments where I get the vibe that Sam is still Frodo's employee, and so I kind of don't feel like they're a great a great bromance, because Sam works for him. I do like a different bromance in that series, and that's Legolas and Gimli. And at least in Two Towers, their connection is super interesting and really fun. And the big part that I like about it is that they come from two completely different cultures, and honestly they're supposed to despise each other, but they grow together really fast and build this trust that is kind of unprecedented. And I hate that I used that word. Thank you, COVID. My next bromance is from the book Holes, and I loved this book as a kid, so I thought it had to come in. The bromance in this story is between Stanley Yelnats and Zero. I don't even know his name. I think it's Hector Zeroni. I think I'm good with spoilers on this one. There's a movie and it's been out for a very long time, but their relationship creates the climax. If Stanley hadn't been nice to Zero and befriended him, and how they wouldn't have been able to lift the curse, and Stanley's family would still be cursed. And it's really cool. I love in those kind of moments when a bromance fixes things. That's so cool. My next one is from the book Barsk. If you haven't read Barsk, which I'm guessing that there's a lot of people that haven't, it's a sci-fi novel about elevated animals. The main character is an elevated elephant named Jorl, and his best friend is Arlo. And this is a spoiler, but only for the second chapter. Arlo's dead, which is actually a really cool, like, I guess, subversion of the bromance trope. And I actually thought it was really cool to have this relationship still kind of going on even after Arlo's death. And it really added another level to the story. Finally, my last one is Harry Potter. I wanted to mention Harry Potter because growing up, I loved the friendship between Harry, Ron, and Hermione. And I know Hermione's not a bro, but there are a lot of bromance moments between Ron and Harry. You just really get the sense that they are best friends, and like through anything, they will stay together. And they even just like, okay, so an example would be in the 6th book. It just feels so like a bro thing to do when like Ron gets a girlfriend, just hanging out with his girl all the time. As soon as they break up, it's just like as if nothing happened and Ron wasn't being a git. It's just they're best friends, and that's how things work. And I love that because that's exactly how me and my best friend are. That it doesn't matter if like stupid stuff happens or if I think they're being annoying, like we just move on and it's over. And that's how a bromance should be. That's it. That's all my bromances for today. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.